Alright, I'm almost set up here. Alright, it's always such a certain amount of time to get set up every stream, but I kind of have to like change the configuration of the mess on my desk to accommodate what I do on stream versus how I do everything when I'm not streaming. Okay. I need to open up the engine. Do that real quick. And which one did I say that we're doing today? I haven't said which one we're doing today. Which one did I put in the title? Alright. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Sergeant Killer Snow, with Snow Studio Games, and today we are going to be continuing our development of Night Terrors, one of our final projects for this semester of college, for this middle-aged veteran. And I'm one semester away now from getting my bachelor's degree in game design, thankfully. That's, you know, pending the end of this semester, which I think I'll scrape by. But that's pending these projects. So Night Terrors is currently opening up. We have a bit of map that we still have to design and make, and also we still have a bunch of objects that we can divvy out. Breakable objects to toss into certain places, platforms to create, you know, adding a little bit of verticality and, you know, change in the way things are. It'll be fun. It'll be fine. It'll be fine and fun. We'll have to dapple enemies around and see what we can do about setting tiers of progression. Oh my god, that was just opening up the engine and not the actual project! So we're now opening up the project. I'm gonna fill... You know what? No. Y'all get to see these beautiful penguins on the background. How's that? Beautiful oh. Center the camera before even firing up. That'd be a great thing. Wonderful. It loaded up quick enough. So I've zoomed out. We'll notice that there's a little more going on with shapes because we've added trees that break up the monotony of the lanes a bit. I might duplicate a couple of these, just smaller. But this would be just a log, which also serves as a ramp. We put dark, like a very dark brown material on our objects, like in between them, or like right behind the sprites, so that way it looks like it's filled in between, and not just the two-dimensional sprites, which they are. I'm basically making a 3D game out of 2D assets, and I don't care who knows it. I've gotten this to work a little bit better. It's a matter of having this drop me down and actively disappear at the right speed. So when it does that, we wind up here, we wind up facing him, who is currently uncoded. So he has no like brain or logic behind him right now. And then I want to like make a little ramp slide down that'll drop into the next area that the player will fight up through to try and get into the castle's secret room where the final fight would happen. Which I'm wanting it to be with a summoner. Also, I need to do the ultimate ability for my character. Yep. I totally have not done that yet. Oh, I should probably do that. Yeah, I think that's going to be the next thing. Let me open up this, and... oh boy. Where's my controller? It'll probably be in my... main content? No. Ah. There you are. My beautiful controller! Now, see, unfortunately, this is all keyed for the player Kunoichi character, so I'll have to do the sprite swaps and stuff on that character and see what I can do about modifying this when we enter a particular state. So, we're going to create a variable right here. It's going to be a bool, basically just a yes, no. There we go. We now have a variable called isPrimalElemental. And let's go ahead and get a look-see at our sprites. For the sprites player, all I have is the idle made. That's right. Okay. I think that could work, though. Let me see what we've got going on as far as... that's what I thought. Alright, we're gonna make a couple things here. So, we're gonna create a variable for each of our... oh my god. For each of our flipbooks. I need to change the name of this one. This is, instead of player hit, this is gonna be Kunoichi hit. I gotta specify. I'll copy everything else over and just do like branches off of everything in my character and or controller that swaps over animations or swaps over my flipbooks. I'll just make sure they change over to the appropriate like one-for-one swap. I don't know if their timings are all going to be the same. I'll have to double check, and I'll need to take a look at the special attack. And I'll do all that as we create the flipbooks for the special form that we have. I wasn't doing anything else with this beyond making... oh, right, the animations. Dirt. We'll promote that to anim underscore Kunoichi title. Promote. I'm gonna duplicate that one and then change this to elemental idle. And I'm gonna see if I can find the... yep, there's the primal. I will leave it as elemental. There's that one there. We also have somewhere in the death loop, right? Death loop? Ah, there you are. Set flipbook death. anim underscore, damn it. Oh, wait, that's right, because it plays once and then we're done ski. As players, we don't have to worry about that, any kind of AI making us stand up or anything. Again, we've disconnected all controls once we die, so our character flops over with that animation. Vibing with this music, though. I need to step away for a quick second because I put out a notice in my Discord, but I still had laundry and stuff going on. I still have like 2 loads to finish up. So I'm just gonna grab what's in the dryer out. I'm gonna throw it in my room and then keep working. And then when the second one's done, I'll go ahead and drop that one off as well. I won't be folding laundry while I'm on stream, don't worry. But just give me like 2, 3 minutes at absolute most, alright? Try not to go. I need to track down these flip books once I get back. Okay. Oh god. I'm back. Alright. Let's see. Oh, hey Omar. Why don't I promote this channel with my old channel, have more people here, had over 100 subs on the other channel? Because I didn't have as... Even though I had that many subs, I still didn't have that many viewers. The people that were actively watching me in the other channel are actively here watching me too. So if they want to be here, they'll be here. I'll push for more like... I'll do like an actual push for people once I have like released something that I can, you know, talk about a little bit. And once I'm working on, you know, something else, obviously, which I have so many different ideas to work on. I'm not going to have any shortage of projects that I can work on. I just need to finish out school first before I can really, you know, do anything for myself, you know? Even though school is for myself right now, but... Let's see, Switch 2 will be in development hell in 2025 or 2026 because of Taiwanese and Chinese war. Well, I think the people will be in more of a hell than a video game console. When it comes to war, I don't worry about what war is going to be delaying. I'm worrying about what war is taking from us. Because it does take a lot from us. And the thing is, it takes so much from us in such staggering numbers that people suddenly can only see the numbers. Because if they tried to visualize a single person and an entire, history of life and experience leading up to that point of death, and multiply it by however many casualties there are, it will steal something from you to realize just how immense that loss is. So if Switch 2 winds up being delayed because of the Taiwanese and Chinese war, oh well. We don't need another handheld console. What's the Nintendo Switch gonna do that's gonna somehow beat the Steam Deck? Linux is picking up speed. All they need to do is patch a few updates and make their current system stronger, and suddenly they've got like the dominant handheld. Especially since Steam is still such a strong PC game market, and since almost all games are going to be available on PC. If I remember correctly, PlayStation was tossing around talking about making their stuff available on PC as well, which would eliminate any kind of exclusivity, which would also eliminate the stupid console wars. People can just play what they want. It'd be crazy, wouldn't it? So on our controller, we have a bunch of animations and stuff to worry about as well. By being cheaper than the Steam Deck? Sure. If it's cheaper by a certain value, that could be a thing, but it's not just the console that matters. And this is something that they actually take the time to teach us, so it's something that I want to go ahead and pass on here. The console will not sell if it doesn't have a killer app with it. Quote-unquote killer app. Something big, some name brand attached to it, some new character that people can latch onto and get attached to, so that way they want that system. If there's nothing there but reskins of shit that already exists, then no one's gonna want it. And it's part of the reason why Nintendo's so anal and really, really, like, legal action happy when people go near their franchises, because if the person's small and won't cost them a lot of money for them to try and take them down, they'll do it. They just will. But, it's all that they have. Nintendo games, which they know are popular and people will want to play them. So they keep a death grip on it as best they can. But I don't think people would stick around for the Switch 2 just for Mario, given everything else that's available in the world now. I think if I remember right, the original Sega was like Pac-Man or Sonic, something like that. When the Xbox launched, the original Xbox, it came with a dual disc, and I remember this one specifically because I played the shit out of it. And when we were listening to the Jet Set Radio Future soundtrack a few times previously on the stream, though that was one of the games on the disc. And it was one of my favorite ones, because I did not like the other game on the disc, which was, it was a racing game. I think it was some sort of GT racing thing. That's how little I cared about it. But the other one, that's not to disparage the work they put into it, I just don't care about cars. So, I played Jet Set Radio Future like crazy, and that hooked me on there, and then Halo came out, and that became the game. And that made the console the thing of the century, because it also it was the first console that gave us internet connectivity as well. You could plug it into the back, and we had Xbox Live. First time ever. We didn't have to bring, controllers or games and consoles to our friend's house to play. We could just stay in the comfort of our home if we could have the money to afford the internet back then. It's a little bit more of a luxury. And also using it meant using a phone line. It wasn't fun. That's the mapping context. We don't want to mess with that. Heavy attack. Where is my animation states? Nope. That's for movement. Anim control. There it is. Oh yeah, buddy. This is gonna be great. Before I do anything with that one, let me finish up this one. If there's anything else left on this one, I don't think there is. Yeah, that's just playing the spikes animation, play from start, and then it would stop itself. So technically, that's what our character looks like at all times. Shadow control doesn't do anything else but control the shadow. Yeah, no, I think I'm good. I'm all set up there. I can actually move on to the player controller for stuff. Although I may as well... Oh. What's that? Let me make the animations real quick. So we have the idle. Let's get on to the other ones. Left to right. Create flipbook. Primal move. Take a look at it. That's how our character would move around. Or look moving around. I don't mind leaving it at 15 frames per second either. It's a decent looking animation at that speed. This changes our drop down animation. Maybe they could have a Pokemon MMO game on the Switch too. That is one idea to stand out from the rest of the Pokemon games instead of having a new gen for Pokemon. See, just being able to run an MMO and not kill the battery within an hour would be a marketing point if they could do that. To be quite honest. Obviously, an hour is an exaggeration. Like, most people would want to play like 3 hours, and that's the whole shtick of it, is that when you're playing an MMO, you're kind of wanting to play for a long period of time. So, putting an MMO on a mobile device is going to be a severe battery drain, depending on how the MMO looks, the size of the maps, the data it's processing, etc. But agreed, if they could do something like that, then yeah, that'd be a huge marketing point. I might get it. The only reason I have a PlayStation is because PlayStation still has exclusives. Once Microsoft bought out Xbox, or like they like fused it all together and stopped like keeping exclusives on Xbox hidden away from PC, then there was no point for me to like really care about console wars anymore. It was just company wars. It's Nintendo versus PlayStation, aka Sony, versus Microsoft. It's not about the console, it's about the company. Because Microsoft is going to share its products within its product line. So Sony. Nintendo's only going to share with people that pay them. Made the jump down. Not sure if... It'll be fine. I don't think it'll be too crazy. Ooh. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, this is a 20 animation sprite. What? From 10 to 20, and then... Nope. To 19, and then it goes to 1. Alright, I see what it's doing. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to select them in a specific order when it does this, and You could just left to right it and then try and fix it up after, but you can only move them one at a time at that point. And it'll be a little bit slower because it'll be like changing the animation actively. 19 and 20. Now we create flipbook. Oh. There you go. Ooh. I like that. Alright, let me see what the regular jump up. Because all we really do is use the jump up and the jump down. Although that looks far less. Yeah, that looks far less. Let me grab that flourish up. That's that second thing of laundry. Give me a sec. Remind, our machines are sometimes a little dumb, so I have to set another alarm for 3 more minutes. I could have sat there and waited, but that felt wasteful. So we'll just continue on. I was working on this, and I thought it was far less impactful than this, like, really flourishy one here. Let me look at this. Actually, let me duplicate this and I'll turn it into this one. Let me go to that jump up and delete this. Yep, delete that. Goodbye. I don't want it to show up and me get confused. So we'll duplicate this, and then we'll say jump start. And let me stop the loop. Bring it back to the very beginning and take a look at this. So let's zoom in so we can get a look at it. There we go. Interesting. So it is just a jump up. It is in the right order. I'm looking at it right now. So it just rockets up, and then okay, so it's at the height of the jump when it's like switching from. All right, I got it. I see now. So this could actually be the start here. That's fine. We'll get rid of indexes 7 through 19. Oh, come on. You're going to be difficult? Yeah, you are. Delete. 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 Oh boy. Here I go, killing frames again. Quite literally. Each of these is 1 frame of an animation. I am the frame killer. Get framed. There you go. So that's the start of the jump. And I don't really have a jump turnaround point thing. As much as I like that flourish, it's just not going to work for me to try and work it in to make a whole new branch of code for it. I liked it, but it's just not feasible, so we'll ignore that for now. I say for now because if I come back to this or try and grab stuff, there's the other alarm. If I try and come back to this and grab stuff, I might, you know, use these other things and enhance it further in the future. Be right back. Alright, another 45-minute timer. And it won't be the last, I promise. Unfortunately. Okay. Oh, our machines are not that strong, and my quilts are a little thick. It's not really a quilt, it's just a blanket, but it's a big blanket, so it takes up most of the washer. Doesn't let it really spin dry, so most of everything was still really soaked. So that means the dryer is going to take 2 runs. Oh well. Kick these off. Okay. So we have our jump up. We hit it in the jump full folder. I may as well take the jump down and toss it in there as well. And actually rename it. Primal jump down. We did this one as primal move. We have primal idle or elemental idle, and it's somewhere around here, I'm sure. Yeah, we moved them out, so I should probably do that. It does make it easier for me to find that later. All 3 parts of jump. And now we go on to attack part 1. Let's take a look at that. Woo! Yeah, buddy, get it! Thwack, 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 thwack! Love it. I love it! Drop that down into primal metal. Take a look at part 2. Oh, wait a second. This is one of those things where each part just grows in size like that. Alright. I guess we'll just make this into a... Wait a minute. I see what happened here. 1 to 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Wonderful. Why do those look empty? Actually. We'll see. Nah, that's fine. Okay, I think I see the first initial whack. We were like, whack! Okay, so we'll take away 0 through 4. Which is a total of 5 frames. Delete 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Which would put us at the very start of that second attack animation. Which is a double swipe. That's awesome. Okay, that gives this a bit more impact feeling. I'm going to enjoy that. But that means I'm going to need to modify the second attack. I could just tag a little branch onto it. I'll worry about that in a minute. Primal Attack 2 is made. We'll drop that off in main folder. Yeah, move it there. Alright, now let's take a look at this whole thing combined. Actually, what was the frame count of this one? 6. Six, 7, 8. Okay, so 8 frames plus the 6 frames. Nah, something don't feel right. I took away 5 frames from this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That leaves us with 3, 6, 9 frames total from this. That actually made it in. First one was 6 frames. That puts us at 15 frames total for these two. Alright, now let's see what this winds up looking like. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Undo that. 8. No. Oh wait, I already have full attack here. Ha 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 ha. Wonderful. Awesome. 1, 2. Alright, so basically get rid of 0 through 12 and just take 13 through 21. Where's 13? Through 19, 20, and 21. And this is Primal Attack 3. Looks cool, though. That looks cool. Right, we'll get rid of that. Not get rid of it, but stop looking at it. I was just watching it, making sure that there was nothing weird about it. Let's take a look at the special attack now. Oh! Oh, I'm pleased. I'm quite pleased. I'm gonna need to do a little edit so I can get some extra spikes and make it a omnidirectional thing. tech demo is basically... Honestly, we don't talk about it in school at all, so... if I were to take my best guess at it, it would be devices that are just hardware. There's nothing that will actually enrapture and grab someone as a customer looking for a game or a gaming system. Instead, it's just really fancy technology. The Dreamcast was an amazing system. Died away. It was ahead of its time. Didn't have anything to pair with it, really, and it just didn't take off. But it was an amazing, absolutely amazing system. Basically now probably just considered a tech demo of the past. It actually had a screen built into the controller, too. That was way back then. That's some cool shit that people are kind of wanting now, so that way they have, like, cool displays and stuff. Instead, we have the trackpad, when they could put our player HUD on our controller. That'd be kind of cool. Like, shit, how much health do I have? Quick check. Cool. Missed opportunities. Let's change the name of this to Primal _ Special Attack. That looks cool. It's a wave. It's a wave. Still basically do the same thing as the previous one, though. I'll just up damage. Ooh, I can up the damage and the blowback from that, since it's going to be in the elemental form. Okay. I still need to take bits of this into the editor. So I will after I take this out of there. Main folder. Still not quite done. Defend, I'm not sure I have that or if I'm going to institute it, but I'm going to create this just in case. Primal _ defend. We definitely do use the take hit. Primal _ take _ hit. I do take it. Back to human. There we go. Oh, this one is multiple. So we start here and go to the right, and then this one is what, 10? Yeah. Start here, go to the right, boop. I noticed it because the human was already here and not over here. Primal, revert to human. Woo! It's gonna be a fun one. And the air attack. Ooh, wait a minute. Why does this look far more intricate than the previous one? Am I gonna have to code extra for this? No, no I don't. It's just a flourish coming back through. Although I can technically add a little extra to it. Because those flourishes are blades, so it could technically cover the player quite a bit. See how I want to roll it. Okay. Alright, let's, aha, wonderful. Idle, run, jump up, jump down. Yeah, I have all those kind of named up perfectly. Oh, it's because of the animations on, yeah, animation state. Correct. Alright, that'll do. So I technically need one of these for everything. So let's promote to variable. Oh, that's perfect. Oi. Don't overlap right on top of it, you idiot. Why would you do that? This is good that it's taking my naming convention that's already there. It's going to keep bouncing them all up to the top. I just know it. We're just going to scoot these down a little bit because it's going to keep putting them right there. Yep. Dumb. I'm going to put the attack ones off to the right here a little bit. Too close. They're overlapping. Stop it. Personal space. Number 1. I like my personal space. Number 2. Stay out of my personal space. Number 3. It's my space. Oh god, my space. Sorry, my ADHD is on display today. Still haven't added the throw to the player either. I've been working on the enemies so much, I just haven't had like time or motivation to work on the player stuff. I'll also put defend over here. But hit and death belong here. Wonderful. Okay. Now that we have those. The vault. Function. Function this shit. Next. Function. Transformation. Sprite swap. There we go. That's the function I need. So this is going to check that branch that we made in our player. Get player in control, get bool. Crap, what did I call it? In should be enough. Let me go all the way down. You son of the beach. Why don't you have my custom variable there? Where's default? There's the... Oh my god, the test float is still there. That's crazy. Yeah, test float. No, I need the get primal elemental. Boop. Don't know why my brain couldn't think of it, but it's okay. So if this is true, then we want to make sure to wrap. This is gonna be wild. Let me get animation states. Wrong thing. I didn't want the switch. I think I wanted select. Yeah. Nope, still not right. I just need to go through for each of these. Oh my god. Gonna suck. It's definitely gonna suck. Drag all these out. Nope, not that one. Wrong. Right. It won't let me, it's not allowable to shift click and get multiple variables at the same time, unfortunately. I can do it for things if they were up here in the components list, but not for the variables, sadly. I lament this slow one-by-one methodology deeply. Roll, transforming, bend, hit, and thank you. Alright. That is a lot of itty bitty bits. Unfortunately, we're going to need them twice for the most part. So we need to kind of divvy this up in a way. Let's see what I can do about keeping it kind of like this, honestly. We can make a sequence. True. Sequence. Let's see, and how many do we have? There's 3, 6, 9. And then we have 3, 6, 7. Alright, so we've got 16 animations, 16 flip books to choose from. And we want to make sure that when our code that is already created and in the system goes ahead and looks for which animation we've told it to use in which situation, now we're just kind of creating an extra step before it picks those animations to decide if it should pick the Kunoichi version or this primal elemental that's going to shred things like a blender. At least that's how I hope to make it feel when people are playing it. So let's get 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 on here. And then on 9, we'll do a second sequence. Take care of the rest of these. Because essentially all we're doing is setting these. So we get, let's see, we get the player in control. We get the flip book. I didn't want to click there, but that's okay, because it got us the flip book anyway. Set flip book. This part will stay up here and then just be infinitely reborn. It's up here. It's right around here with a reroute. Move this back just a little bit. There you go. So new flip book is going to be... Oh wait, no, we're not setting the flip book. We're setting this. Right. So this actually isn't the one I need. It's the set version. Set idle, and this will be the Kunoichi. I didn't need to drag those out at all. I hate myself. I kind of did, but I clicked on the wrong thing. I automatically clicked on get instead of set. So, get set. So I don't need that. Whoop. That was the whole point of creating these variables, so that way we can change them up with this function, and then those variables can be what's plugged into all of our already existing code. My brain needed a second to catch up to my own thought process. It happens. Set run to, actually, hang on. This needs to be primal move. This one needs to be primal idle. I put it as idle primal. Derp. That was the first one I made, that's why. Get rid of run so that way I don't mistake it. I can use these as a guide now, so that way I know what to look for. Even though it already exists at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'm trying not to lament the waste of my time. Did I not make a... Oh, there is no role for the thing. For the dude, for the boy. Your role is just more move. But I can't leave it as something that's just Kunoichi based, because then it would transform back for those frames. We don't want that. Jump up. Let me not pull off of it. Set jump up as primal underscore jump start. Oh, did I did separate it. Interesting. Jump down. Primal underscore jump is enough. Set full jump, and that's going to be the primal underscore. Oh, look at that. Jump full. Can get rid of those two. And 3 left for this side. Let's see, set hit. Did I rename the hit? Oh, it's take hit. That death. The NPCs have 2 different death states, which is why I got confused when I was initially looking at this stuff. For the player characters, I was like, wait, there's the death state, but where's the dead state? There's like supposed to be dying and dead, so that way it plays the death animation once and then gives the sprite time to disappear by staying in the dead animation, which is 1 frame of it just being dead. We don't do that with the player. Did I not make a Uzi? There's gotta be one. Player, primal metal. Oh boy, there is no death one there. I guess it's just a force back to normal and then die. So I'd have to play the transform back. Okay, I can do that. So death actually needs to remain as the Kunoichi. know I probably went over it. There it is. Alright. Then we'll set transforming. As primal underscore revert to human. Alright, we kind of overestimated this one part right here. Tighten that up. Alright. Plug everything else in. That one. I'll make a little comment / note here on the death, that it's Konoichi death, and I need to revert to human before playing the animation, so that way I can make that change. That was satisfying. Okay, and we have 7, so that's got to be up to 6. 5 and 6. Set attack 1. Set attack 2. Set attack 3. Pop those 3 off of there. Move these 3 down. Get these plugged in. My speech record scratched for a second. I went, "You're right." Primal attack 1. 2, that's, oh, look at that. Primal attack 2. Attack 3, and, oh, primal attack 3. Perfect. Air attack. Set air attack. Set special. Set throw. I don't think there's a throw for this guy either. So we'll set the air attack. Primal air attack. Special attack. Actually, we don't need that last node there. Oh, we do, for defend. Yeah, we don't need a throw here. Actually, the throw can stay the same. We just will disable throw for whenever we're in the Kunoichi form, if we even get throw put in. Make sure that defend has defend. We do have that animation made for the Konoichi character. We just haven't implemented it as a mechanic yet. And I'm not sure if I'm going to. We've got enough going on for what little time we've got left. All right. So that is for when that's true, and now we need to do the thing for when it's false. Which is the same. We're just going to change all the values that are in those things. Ta-da! Coffee pasta at its delicious. Alright, this part's going to be boring. I mean, most of it's kind of boring at this point. It's just a bunch of visual scripting. I know, it's not the best. But this is what actual game development and designing stuff is. So let's go ahead and type idle in here. Make sure that we grab the Kunoichi. Next is going to be run, roll, jump up, and jump down. Swing it around. It's the full jump. Hit. There's so many hits. I love these hits. I, as a player, love taking hits. No, it's still the same. Death Kunoichi, that's fine. Transform. And now we go to attack. Part 1. Attack 2. Ah, there we go. Air attack. Special attack. Oh boy. Oh hey, it did the thing. No, it didn't. Oh, it kind of did. There it is. I forgot I'm not doing the primal anymore. Throw is already set for the Kunoichi, and defend is there. Set that to compile, and now we can hit save all to save the things that we've got. And now we have to set this as a thing, transformation sprite swap. So this will basically just be a thing that I tack on to my event tick, isn't it? Event, attack type change. I have everything else based off of events, so, well, besides movement, and that really shouldn't be too crazy. But we do need to decide what our animations are going to be before anything else in here plays out. So, we'll do transformation sprite swap as the very first step here in event tick, so that way we are picking the correct sprites to use. Let's see what things might need to be enabled / disabled. I don't think there's going to be too much crazy going on here. Air / combo attack. Why is that one different? Oh, that's me calling the attack chains, right? With left click. Got it. Derp. Woo! Heavy special attack, that's basically just right click. Air attack is left clicking while in the air. Special heavy attack, that's the logic for the right click. Which it still kind of is going to be the same based off of everything else. Even the third hit of the combo, I think. Yeah. Yeah, the third hit of the combo is basically going to be the same as well. Oh, this is actually going to be kind of cool. Not having to worry about too much. I need to open up Photoshop. Because I recall that we need to create the special attack spikes. Where's the special attack? Down here. Okay, so let me take a look at the animation itself. special. Turn off the loop, please. Zoom in. Enhance. Oh, I also just noticed all my little UI stuff has been turned off this whole time. Probably made things more legible and readable, but I like my my tendrils. Okay. Let's see. Not too worried about plunging the blades into the ground. But that part I need. So I need... Honestly, I can take 3 through 10. 3 through 10. Let's take special attack. Come on, where is it? And sprites. 3 por 10. I don't care about the little fade off at the end there. Let's see, that's 3, 10. I'm gonna have to let's see if it'll let me mass export these. It might not. Let's go to asset actions. What am I doing? I know where these sprites are. There's no need for me to do this the way that I was about to do it. No. Yes. Go. Sprite sheets. Damn it. There we go. PNG. And we're looking for not E take it, E special attack. There we go. 3, 10. I'm gonna take the first one and drop it in there first to get us started. Let's duplicate the layer, hide the original, and let's get rid of the character on there. That alone makes that a little bit... Wait, I didn't even want the part with this in the air. Derp. Why did I even bother? Not what I wanted. I think I meant to start at 4. Yeah, 4 is where that starts. Open up 4. And now I'm going to take 5 through 10 and drop them in as well. Cool. I get to edit each one and export a copy. Step 1, make sure that we don't mess this up. Go. Be gone, ye awesome drill-shaped bod. Nice. Yeah, fine. Didn't really need to get rid of this part, but I figure it might wind up overlapping and causing a little bit of flickering, which we've seen happen when sprites are overlapping over the same layer. So we don't want to have any unwanted, undesirable issues, you know? I feel like there's about 5 minutes left before... Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to deselect the other one before I started working on this one. That's a shame. I feel like there's about 5 minutes or less before my alarm goes off for me to basically put the dryer load in again. But I know full well that that's not going to be dry. That was way too much. My nose is very itchy. Okay. Quick export, and we're going to call this... First, we're going to put it in the folder directly into the engine. Data storage 1. Active builds. Unreal Night Terrors. Content sprites, and we'll also go into sprites player. I'm going to put these special ones in here. Primal underscore spikes 1. Behold, you exist. And now we close that without saving, because we don't want to save over the original sprite. Grab this, get rid of that. Cool, that's part 2. Ah, hello folks. There's people in here. Silent and steady. Enjoy the 80s synthwave while I just finish editing some sprites real quick and losing my place while I'm doing it actively in real time. And there's that alarm that I predicted was about 5 minutes off. Alright, I'll be right back. Less than a minute. Well, less than 2 minutes for sure. Sorry, didn't mean to lie. Apparently the dryers heard me talking shit and they were like, oh, so you think I can't finish this and get it dry in time? Okay, bet. And it did the job. So I had to eat my words and bring all my stuff in. So that's done. We're gonna sit down now. Well, it's mostly done. I still have one last final thing. Mainly that all my pillows have basically been deflating almost completely, so figured since I actually finished in decent time for the rest of the laundry, I have time before they close the laundry room to run my pillows through the dryer. I am going to sleep so good tonight that death would be jealous. Yes, indeed. Alright. Oh, dang. We need to edit the sprite. Make sure that we don't save it. Don't want to make any mistakes on that. So if anyone hasn't seen yet, what do you call it? Larian Studios, the developers of the very critically acclaimed Baldur's Gate 3, have released, or are going to release, a very huge DLC for free that has 12 new subclasses in it, and I love them so much because they're releasing that much content for free when someone like World of Warcraft, when Blizzard Entertainment or League of Legends, you know, Riot, all those guys would have charged you fucking $30 for an expansion that has one subclass in it, and then continue to monopolize on that for all 12 of those subclasses. Larian Studios are like, yeah, nah, you want this? Here you go. You paid for our game, you paid full price. Here's some actual support and product development and improvement. I love those guys. This was the third one, right? Because we ignored 3, 6, 4, 5. It's fine. Oh yeah, because we're editing in a weird pattern here. CD Projekt Red cleaned up their shit too. But their initial release was also very troublesome. Baldur's Gate had far less troubles on their release, but they, I cannot fault CD Projekt Red for the cleanup job that they did. Some people might say that they still haven't delivered on what was promised because people were expecting more RPG elements, like traditional RPG elements, but that's just because they're skewing what the definition of RPG is. It's still a role-playing game. You're playing the role of that character and making the choices for that character in their life. You play the role of them. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back to that active build and find where these things are actually, what they're actually saving as. Sprites. Player. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so Spikes 2. Definitely one of the end ones. So I'd say this is like, let's see, out of 4, 8. Let's say Spikes 8 for right now. So from 1... How did we go so wrong? One. So 3 is 2. Got it. God damn it. Close it out. Open file location. 3 equals 2. Damn it. And then, yeah, 4 looks like the appropriate next step, so you're actually 3. Now let's actually proceed properly from here on. This one is going to be 4. Let me not mess this up anymore. Not quite. I don't want to get rid of any of the gray that's on the blade, because then that just makes it look like a purple tentacle and not like a reinforced blade. Export quick PNG. Nope. And make that 4. Simple, easy. Close. Don't save. Don't you dare. Export. Nope, never mind. I didn't do the edit. I'm dumb. Give me a second. Almost cut off the tip of a blade. No one likes being tipless. Nice. Should start from the bottom every time. Export, that's number 5. Should almost be done with this. Then we can add this as a replacement for the spikes that are currently constantly emitting from our character in secret. Okay. Export, nope. Edit first, then export. Do that, get rid of most of the main body. That, get rid of the rest of the main body. And export. Friends have said that Baldur's Gate 3 is a story option simulator game that doesn't have as much combat in it, but mostly revolves around talking with people like Mass Effect. That's part of a role-playing game. If your friends want more action, then what they want is an action-adventure game. They want less RPG elements and more pew-pew. Those story-building moments are kind of part of the whole thing for role-playing games, is building the story of someone else so you can experience life through them, not through yourself. If you just want a whole bunch of combat, there's Halo. There's things like Halo, there's Gears of War. There's games that have, well, Gears of War, the earlier versions, before they apparently made it very, very narrative heavy for a game that was supposed to not be narrative heavy, you know? Call this Spikes 6. And then this one we already edited, but now we can export it as Spikes 7, because I was correct. That other one we exported that was perfectly the last one is Spikes 8. Close this out, no save, and yes, import. So basically the whole thing with players saying that they want other things within the genre that isn't the thing that they want, that's kind of one of the things that's killing games a bit, because it's demanding, you know, that every game be able to kind of multi-class into being multifaceted for everyone to enjoy, and that's not, you can't do that, because then there's no point in genres in games. It's separated out for the same reason that film, TV, adult content, all of it's sorted out for reasons. And if there's elements that you don't like within a genre that you prefer that's found in another genre, then go to the other genre. Or find a fusion between the two that actually works out. Like, that's the game's intention, is to fuse the two genre types. Because I love genre fusions. I love it in movies, film. I love all types of fusions and intermingling of disciplines. This down here. I don't have any like cave rock assets or anything yet. I'll probably try and find some. Actually, I do have some rock assets. Never mind. They're more like rune stones, but I can still use them. Get those made. I need to turn them into sprites. Like actually into sprites. So first step, sprite actions, apply paper 2D. Next, create the actual sprites, and then grab these and turn that into primal spikes. Control-Shift-S to save all. And now let's look at our player. These supplemental spikes. I might have to grab references to those in the controller here. In our transformation thing. Yeah, it's gonna have to be. I'll change the spikes up as one of the first things here for both. So from player, let's up. We can set sup spikes 1, or set sup spikes and then sup spikes 1. So from true here, we go there and there. Oh, are you just like not gonna let? All right, that's fine. Yes. I think I'll have to make a reference to spikes. Yeah. We'll make a duplicate idle and we'll call it spikes. We'll compile, and this will be supplemental spikes initially. This is going to need a double set, essentially. So I'm going to set spikes. Set spikes equal to the supplemental spikes as step 1. Oh, wait a minute. False is actually the one that goes to the Kunoichi. True goes to the primal. So we put this one there instead. We'll also have to basically copy this down here as well. Plug this into the target. And we plug spikes into all of them. After we do primal underscore spikes, oh, or just spikes, primal spikes. There was no underscore there. So, excuse me. Paper flipbook object reference is not compatible with paper flipbook component object reference. Yeah. I'll figure it out. So, we'll get sup 1 and sup 2. Or get sup and sup. You know. Sup. It's supplements, I promise. So from sup spikes, we go to that flip book. That's the ticket. And we set it equal to that. Which is now going to be equal to supplemental. I flipped it up again. Supplemental spikes, and then this one is primal. Join up together and be one religion, but what about those people that decide to not separate from their religion, would keep that religion alive and separate? Well, then they'd just be a separate religion. And by the way, it's not really a conspiracy. There is already a belief system that exists that kind of encompasses that, which I kind of aspire to. Like, I kind of subscribe to this, if I were to have a faith at all, it would be in this particular one, just because of its, like, basically headline motto. And it would be, or I guess you could call it its creed. It's called Omniism, and it is the belief that no one religion holds the truth, but the truth can be found in all religions. And I have believed this since I was a child, because I could see in several different religious views that a lot of it is, you know, moral guidance to teach you to be morally upstanding and good and upright. But then I see other stuff mixed in there that is hatred and, you know, subjugate these people because it's your right to do so. And I can tell, you know, once I became a teenager, like late teens, I started to be able to identify that the reason that that was there was because these religions were grabbed up by their local political system and then revised, edited, and had these things put in there for the politics of the time. Pretty much exactly what happens now in America. Because history repeats itself, but because no one can read above a 4th or 5th grade reading level in the fucking United States of America, they don't know how to read history to understand that they're just doing the same shit and succeeding. Whoop-de-doo! By the way, happy National Native American Heritage Day. For anyone that wasn't aware that that is a thing, that is today. National Native American Heritage Day is today. And it's been there for a while. It was first proposed in like 1910, 1912, somewhere around there, and it was brought back into into discussions in the 90s, I think by Clinton, and then it was ratified and brought into being, and it was approved by like 186 Native American tribes and stuff like that. But that is a thing. National Native American Heritage Day is the day after Thanksgiving every year, and nobody cares because it's Black Friday, the biggest corporate capitalist fucking consume holiday there is, that overshadows Native American Heritage Month, or Native American Heritage Day specifically. And on top of that, it comes out after Thanksgiving, which is a bastardized story of how we traded and bartered and made peace with the Native Americans to, share this land, when really we became this land's domestic abusers and ripped it away from, you know, the people that were treating it right. And that part of the story is getting phased out of schools. They're trying to erase the Trail of Tears and all that stuff because they're trying to control what the history is, so that way people think that they're all morally in the right. This is why I keep telling people, watch One Piece. It's not just an amazing, like, anime and story. Like, it is practically biblical in the levels of depth that it goes into exploring the human condition, mortality, and various other things. It's crazy. And if you have a problem with One Piece's world government, and you have a problem with the way that certain Navy operatives work in One Piece, well, look at politics. Look at it real close. Anyway, always try not to get political, and what do? Get right on that political horse every time. Every time. So we're going to get another set flip book here and get right back on track, and just plug those spikes in there. Move this over. We're going to move all this over because we're going to make sure that this plugs into the sequence cleanly. Make sure this plugs in here, and then take this up here. Now we're going to copy these two, bring them down here. Line them up a little bit. Take that, plug it in there. Of course, they put Black Friday on this. Yeah, it's the American way. Crazy. Absolute insanity. Yeah, yeah. You know how in America there were those protests and stuff because people wanted to take down the Confederate statues, which were, you know, statues erected for Confederate war heroes, which, sure, I can understand that, but the ideals they were fighting for, is that something that you really wanna, you know, have as a constant thing there? Well, apparently in America, yes, according to the way things voted. Insanity. Yeah, when it comes to politics, you just have to find the thing that affects you, and then suddenly you'll care more. And that's how it'll be for almost everyone, because a lot of headlines and a lot of news and stuff that I'm seeing pushed through my feeds is how people are deeply regretting, like, it's about Trump voters regretting their decision and regretting their vote. And the dude's not even officially in office yet. It's just all the shit that he's saying leading up to it is heinous. Primal spikes, supplemental spikes. Alright, all that is properly set up now. Cool. The controller will take care of setting what the spikes will look like for our attack. So now I think the only thing we really have left... Oh, except for these. I might have to go into the controller and get the specific thing. Nah. Yeah. I'll just make a quick and dirty function here, similar to the other one. Nation sprite control. And we'll just do this same thing as before. Set a branch that checks for Primal Elemental. Boop. Oh, let's see. By the way, welcome, Darklight. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. So, Monday this week, I finally asked my heart doctor if I was able to have bio kids. He said I can. I would have to tell him once I get into a relationship to get onto birth control to make it safer for you. Congratulations. Congratulations for that. I'm very happy for you. Take a sip of water for that, too. And then I'm gonna get an energy drink for it because I can already feel my energy start to dip. I didn't get to have food before I started. That leaves me with a couple of energy drinks for the weekend. And then on Monday I should be getting my shipment of my usual, like, 4 cases of energy drinks because I have a problem. Sweet. You know, I had a thought earlier today, since you shared that bit of good news. I wanted to share kind of like a positive, that could almost seem like a negative, but it's a positive. And it was, I was just kind of thinking back on a lot of the experiences that I've had in my life. A lot of choices that I made, a lot of people I associated with, just a lot of things through my life that were either embarrassing at the time or became embarrassing as I became more mature, or things that were either shameful or borderline shameful. And usually when I think on things like that, it makes me feel kind of, you know, as I described, embarrassed or ashamed of the former me, the younger me. And I always viewed that as a sign of growth, because if you look at those previous actions that, you know, may have been morally jaded or skewed because you didn't understand something, if you can't look back on that and reflect and say, I don't like how that was, and as, you know, a better person now, hopefully, I won't be repeating that kind of stuff. No, instead of that usual feeling that I got the feeling of something that I've never experienced before. And it was the thought of, I am ashamed of myself for how I have treated myself. After looking back at stuff, I was just like, I really kind of just did not respect myself, did not care about myself. I know for a fact that for a while I was like looking down the barrel of death for a while, and looking at it with a smile, because I just did not want to continue here. And I am ashamed that I let myself hurt myself so much until I got to the point where I didn't anymore, and then until I got to this point where I realized how much I was actually hurting myself. But I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, just as a positive thing, because I'm always constantly reflecting on myself. I go through a lot of therapy, and it's constantly helping me be introspective and think about things. So, back to the regularly scheduled stuff. Oh, and also, let's see, worried about symptoms from birth control, however, as long as that is okay with me taking it. Yeah. Yeah, you should be fine. I mean, it's going to affect some people differently, but that's why there's various different types. So just make sure that you're constantly honest with your providers. And if it's going to be a while before you see your providers, but you feel a particular symptom that isn't like pressing that you need to go to the hospital for, but it's unusual, and you want more information on it, or you want to bring it up to them, make sure you write it down. Don't trust your memory. Write it down in something that you're going to bring with you to your doctor, or that you're going to have when you talk to your doctor, so that way you can bring it up to them. I can't tell you the amount of times I've forgotten like an important side effect that I was feeling when I was on antidepressants, and it would have really helped get off of that antidepressant and move on to the next one if I could have remembered that I needed to do that. And it's just that I never wrote it down back then. So I kind of fixed that for myself, and I'm thankfully much better off for it. I know certain methodologies don't work for other people, but it doesn't hurt to try. Never hurts to try. So, we check if we're primal elemental form. If we are, then we're going to go to not select. What was it? We were just going to do a quick sequence, and we were going to change, let's see, set anim I'm gonna change the names of these again. Take hit. Idle. I can delete that one. And death. Actually, no. Kunoichi death stays on its own. I am going to need to get a reference of the transform back. So I'm just going to actually duplicate this and create... rename it to... anim primal to human. We're going to compile, and then we're going to make sure that we set this to revert. Because if it so happens that we die in elemental form, then we need to change back to human form. We have 4 animations, right? Set idle. Why isn't it letting me set? Yeah, there we go. Oh, because it doesn't have the underscores in it when it goes ahead and makes it, because it gives it shorthand stuff. Like, alright, got it. That stays the same, basically. Well, fine. I'll just set it to the same thing twice. Primal. Revert. If we are a primal elemental, then primal, and take hit is going to be an oh wait, it's just going to be take hit. Death. There's revert. It's fine. And if we're not, then sequence it to have these 3. Two and 3. Idle. Archer hit, barrel hit, box hit. There we go. I knew we'd find it eventually. Death stays the same. Death is always the same. Okay. I have tested absolutely none of this as I have gone through. This is the way. And don't do what I do when it comes to that. Make sure you test your stuff as you go through. I'm just very stupidly overconfident. So we don't need that if we're just changing the animation over. Everything else should be relatively the same, but I will make sure to change attack strength whenever we're a primal elemental. Oh, hey, cool. Event ticket's right there. Sup spikes. Alright, that's for all that. That's fine. I just had a complete, like, brain dip, and I don't... Okay, here we go. I remember now. Sorry. It happens. Move the following shadow up there. And... Oh, come on. We want to go into a branch there before we get into the other branch, because that other branch is looking for the supplemental spikes to play. And to make them hidden or not. And this was to check if we are primals. If we are. We also need to do the transformation thing just in general. We'll set that up here. Shadow control, transformation, sprite control. Then we drop down to the rest of this. I want this to be set. ATT, yep, there we go. Let's set that attack strength. Copy and bring that down here. Do we have anything else that sets our attack strength anywhere? Did I just randomly set it? Yeah, it's set at 1. So if we're primals, we're going to set that attack to 3, which will deeply impact how strong our attacks are. Set this back to 1. But I do want to check, because I know that one of my things over here looks for damage that feeds to it. Oh, I learned something that I forgot to implement here. You hope you'll be given a BC that has less symptoms with it. That is a shared hope amongst many. Am I looking for input or... I forgot where I was again. My brain is not having a fun time here. Oh, right. I need my damage fields. That's what I'm looking for. So we have... That's the damageable interface. That's the heavy attack damage field. We need that, and we need the regular damage field, which should be... It's somewhere around here, I'm sure. There it is. So for these... I think it was one of these up here. I think it was somewhere in the class defaults. Up, there's all the sounds that we had on there. Wrong one. At least I think it's the wrong thing. There was something that was supposed to be like expose on spawn, right? I think I know what it was. I'll turn it into a float in a second, but damage to deal. Turn this into... Nope, don't change that. We're going to change this to a float. Right? Pile that. copy this and also drop it here. Paste variable. Because we'll notice that in our deal damage logic, yeah, set damage amount. And then we can go to set damage amount here. Yeah, buddy. So that would automatically set it. Cast failed, it sets it to that, which basically means that it's an enemy that's attacking. I might need to change this to set player damage amount and then have one for set enemy damage amount as well. Or, bear with me. Let's see. I wonder if there's a class switch. Damn. I gotta find a way to get the particular class, and then I want to be able to have that class have like a switch to access its child classes. But I don't think that that's going to be a thing without me like custom making something for it. I definitely feel like that's going to be what I'm going to have to suffer through. Ooh, soft class path, cast to class. Cast from an object to a class. This will only work if the object is already a class. Let me see what child commands they have. Child actor components is child actor. Child actors get child components. Child folders. Oh, those are for sequences. We don't want to mess with the sequences. And class is child of. Got it. No, we can actually use this. We'll use the test class of the new. Alright, let me just type enemy, see what happens. New base enemy. That's the one, right? I have the feeling, I think. Oh, hey, Adman, welcome. Thanks for being here, buddy. New base enemy is actually the base parent class. That was my oopsies. So let me change this to get. I'm going to use get instigator here since I already have it there, and we're going to say get class. And we're going to test that. So if it is one of the base enemy classes, then we want to go to branch. Oh boy. And then we want to determine which one it is. Actually, I think... Let's see. Nah. Need a better switch, one that isn't just for enums. Is there only the ability for that? Probably. Oh, switch on int, switch on... Yeah, there's switches for a bunch of stuff. looking for, though. Alright. We'll do the long way. Get class. Check if it's equal to something. Plug that in as a condition. Actually, let's check if it's not equal. I want it to see if it's not equal to the heavy. If it's not the heavy enemy, I want it to only deal 1 damage. And that would be my pillows. Cool. If it's not the heavy, then we go up to that. And if it is the heavy, then we set damage found to 3 instead. The heavy's gonna hit hard. In comparison to the others for right now. Awesome! I still technically have to do that for this. Yay. Let's do this. This isn't changed across these. Damn. I should probably omit that and omit that. Get rid of that too. Leave that. I wanted all of these except for this, this, and this. Thank you. Goodbye. Plug that in there. Plug that in there. And plug that in right there. And make sure that goes up there as well. Because all of these need to go and plug into their return. If it's the player, then it's just going to go ahead and bop that attack strength in there as the value. You can copy and paste blueprints. Like, you can just duplicate the blueprints. I've done it. But you just have to be careful with stuff. If you're going to be duplicating from it, you're creating... If it's not a child class already, it's going to create a copy of whatever you made. So it'll create another, like, parent blueprint class that can control a lot of stuff. So, I don't know, if you're going to be copying a blueprint, it should be, like, to make child objects. So let's say you make one base enemy blueprint, like I have, that doesn't technically have a body, it doesn't have the attacks coded, but it has all of the shared stuff coded. So it's got the health stat, it's got all the stats coded on there, and it's got the base movement coded on there, because most, if not all, enemies are going to be moving unless they're like a planted sentry turret type of ranged enemy. So you can make everything have the movement code, and then have it have the damage, like taking damage, dealing damage, and getting hit. If you set all that up on your base blueprint, then every blueprint you make as a child of that blueprint is going to have all that functionality hidden on there. It just exists. So that's basically the same as copying the blueprint, but also making it its own separate thing. Oh damn. I forgot that this one was a basically full brand new energy drink. It literally only flopped out a little bit of the drink, but it landed on stuff. Give me a moment to clean up. About this, the energy drink landed on my miniature notepad, and that miniature notepad has kind of important notes, so I just need a little bit to make sure that this is dried off, because it is actually making the marker and pen bleed together. It just barely started to smudge, and I got it, and it didn't pass through too many of the other pages. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick, wash my hands, pee real quick, of course, because, you know, biological functions required. And then we'll come right back into this to continue trying to get our special ability, our special transformation, fully implemented. Alright, pillows retrieved, hands washed. All that stuff. Back messed up. Why? Because I'm getting old! See a notification in the Discord. Yeah, there it is. Pictures and general. Ooh! Thank you for sharing those pictures from the James Webb Space Telescope. I love looking at that stuff. Also, it makes me feel extremely small and insignificant. But in, like, kind of good ways. Okay, we have created ways to set our strength here. Although I kind of feel like I can turn this into... collapse that to a function and call that one... set player strength. Boom, so good. Wow. Alright. That itty bitty little function will take place just fine. There. And now we can go ahead and scoot all this back in now that we've actually got that situated properly. Okay. I need to set up the transform. So... I think I might set it up in here, actually. So, player... see if I set the inputs up like that. I did not. So IA underscore. I did not. I gotta go to my settings, take a look at the input settings, and what do I have? We have attack, heavy attack, jump, movement, throw. Transform is there. Let's take a look at our listing here. Transform is set to F. Okay. I think I might need to rename it to Elemental Transform. Yep, that'll work. So now I should be able to call it from here. Elemental underscore... input action event. It doesn't need to be in the controller. I just like keeping stuff in the controller for the most part. But we can go ahead and have this set to on started. Started is only called once, right? And we want this to be flip-flop, where A goes to set is primal elemental to true, and B is not. I just realized I'm probably also going to need a transforming, like, animation. Not transforming animation, Jesus. I'll have to make sure that the transformations can't happen while actively transforming. We'll make a transforming variable. See, graphic t-shirts have gone up in price, but like $10 in the past 5 years. It used to be 20 bucks and now it's 30. Everything's gone up. Everything's gone up. Even though there hasn't been an increase in the quality of product, even though there hasn't been an increase in the quality of just about anything, they've been cutting costs and cutting, you know, resource use and using recycled goods and all that stuff. Yeah, that's all great. That means that we're getting more cheaply made things that we're still being charged more for, and people are still getting laid off and replaced with other shit. But because big companies have big numbers that they can use to basically break any kind of average, averages don't work. But all anyone ever wants to look at is, yeah, the average profit margins or the average, you know, employment rates or average salary is... You realize what a salary of hundreds of thousands of dollars for like CEOs and higher up people will do to a regular, like, average of salaries? Definitely skew it a little bit. People don't know. Variable. Transforming. We can shift our begin play. In fact, I think I can bring it down here. And we can say that this is going to need a branch on each. So press B and click. If you're holding B and you left click, it'll give you a branch automatically. Let's see. This is for finding out if we're transforming. If we are not transforming in either of these cases, then we go ahead and set the new elemental shift. And if we are transforming, we do not do that. And we set the actual transformation over in our simplified character controller. Because this is where we have like change animation, choose animation state, animation control, all that other stuff. Everything else is kind of actually already set. Let's see. We'll have to gate a few things from happening when we're transforming. So I think one of the first places that we want to go and look at would be animation control. So first check for animation control was to check and make sure that we're not dead. False nails on, hard to type with, I bet. I've let my nails get a little too long on occasion, and I always realize it when it's hard for me to use my keyboards. And I'm like, why the hell is this so... Why am I getting so many, like, mistypes? And I realize that, like, my nail is half an inch long and tapping, like, 2 other keys, and I'm just not even realizing it. And then I have to stop and think, did my nails just grow really fast, or has it been, like, weeks and I haven't realized it? Anyway, first check. If we're not dead, then we go down here to the transformation thing. Actually, we can do it for both. What? Where did should loop come from? What? That's not one of mine. Is it? Oh, it is, because it's a local. Alright, I understand now. That's how I set that up. Got it. Woo! Had me some type of way. Alright, so if we are dead, then the first thing to do is to let that do once happen. Because first, before entering Death Kunoichi, we need to... Setting should loop to not is the best case. We need to set looping, not set looping, set flipbook. And also set looping. And I love seeing you guys chat. Because it's something else happening besides what I'm actively doing. It's stimulation for the brain, finally. JK. This is very stimulating for my brain. Sometimes overstimulating for my brain. Set flip book. Revert to human. Not looping. And this is only if we are transformed. So branch. Also need to set a what was it? A delay here. Nope, that's audio delay. Crap, I can't put delays in here. God. Yeah, actually, I think without that loop in there, or without a delay to tell it to not immediately switch the flipbook, I wouldn't be able to do it inside this function. We may have to just let the death animation just be a little jarring. And I know it's probably going to get brought up by my instructor, but I'll just have to let him know, like, there wasn't anything that I could do after I had already done... This is my third full rework of my player controller and enemy controllers. I'm not reworking my function systems again. I deleted one too many things. So yeah, I'm not reworking my systems again to do all that. I won't do. I can't and shan't. Oh yeah, or completely ignore that I just dropped death on there. Yeah, that's cool, thanks. Yeah. Now it's working. I'm gonna have to change up. I realized I gotta go to my combat animation state, I'm pretty sure. See, this would have been a great way for me to make the delay. Because I use it in the event graph, but I can't use it there. Debug string, nope. Combat. There we go. So not attacking is gonna be idle. Yeah, or just non-existent. Leave it alone, it doesn't need to be there. Attack 1. That's not attack 1. What? Attack part 1, attack part 2, and attack part 3. And it won't look for these until after it's already looked for the transformation switch. So we're good. The special attack is the heavy attack. And then we have the air attack. Cool. That works. Or hopefully that works. Fingers crossed. I'm trying not to jinx anything. For, you know, the superstitious lots out there. And... oh, right, I was looking for a specific thing over here for... oh, I found a workaround, so I don't need it. There's an option when you spawn a new actor, if the actor class allows or has a particular thing ticked on it, it will let you expose like certain variables or certain things on spawn. So when you use this spawn node, it'll expose that variable if that class is selected, and then you can set it right then and there, which is quite nice. If I had known that from the start when I was making the damage fields, I would have just exposed on spawn the damage to receive attribute. That would have been real easy. But it is what it is. Oh, I also need to... alright. So, first... set transforming. And I think I'm going to make a little timer for a custom function called trans... we're going to call it elemental shift, which is basically the transformation. So set transforming true, because I can call elemental shift here before setting is primal elemental. Actually, I'm probably going to combine these into this thing. So we'll set transforming, and the first thing is to check if we are an elemental or if we're not an elemental. If we are, then we want to play the revert. Set flipbook. Player flipbook. And this is going to be revert. We're doing it in here because the variable that we're messing with is in here, and the controller's already kind of cluttered anyway. This is all just controlling a transformation state, which we're going to tell the controller when we're transforming, just don't move. Too easy. And no transforming in the air. That's something else we should put here. Just not in the air. Grounded. Where's my grounded attribute? That's in my controller, isn't it? Yeah, it's in the controller. It'll be fine. That's primal revert if we are an elemental. If we're not an elemental, then we need to set flipbook to become an elemental. Then we're probably going to want get flipbook length. Actually, I'm just going to get flipbook, and we're going to let's see. Interesting. That looping. Different components of flipbook. One weird. Alright, so no looping on either of these because we don't want the transformation to keep happening over and over again. We're going to move the player flipbook thing down here and get rid of that. Now it's got a little spider look to it. So it's not going to loop, it's going to play that flip book, and then it's going to delay for the duration of the flip book. For 90% of the flip book, actually. So we'll do multiply by 0.85, I'll say 85, and 85% length of the flip book. See if our player can start moving a little bit faster. No one likes being locked down while they're unable to move. So elemental shift, it sets us to transforming, checks what state of elemental we're in, if we are or not. If we are an elemental, then we need to play the revert back once, delay for the length of that flip book, and then set transforming. Actually, before we set transforming, we need to... I was going to combine them both, but it kind of can't be done. Probably could, I just don't know the proper syntax for it, so we'll do set is primal to false. No, they can both converge on transforming being set to false, which is good. Copy this down here. I'll have to come up with progression to make sure that this isn't something that the player gets immediately, but I want them to get it when they reach the underground. So if we're not an elemental already, we play the transformation into an elemental, not looping. We delay for 85% of that flip book length, and then we set is primal to true, and then continue out to finish with transforming is false. Because of these delays, we can't turn this into a function, so it'll stay as is. You finished YS10, now you're playing Romancing Saga 2. Congrats, I finished playing Dying Light, and I jumped up to Dying Light 2. My criticism for Dying Light is that I found out that they had a mode that was only playable for people that pre-ordered, and then it was released for everyone. But that mode is something that I think would be very popular, which is you get to play as the infected. Like, as a transformed infected, like one of the crazy night fuckers that you don't want to go near. You get to play as one of those, but it can only be really played in online mode. So, just, yeah. I don't play in online mode for that. I play Dying Light to play it as a single-player zombie looter-shooter type deal. Not looter-shooter, but still close enough. Anyway, what was I doing? Derp, right. So we do that flip every time we do the elemental shift. Do I need to do... I don't need to put it on a timer, actually. I just need to put a branch here. Never mind, because the branch, it already exists. It already exists before we even get there. It's right here. Transforming. Cool. So once we're transforming... If we're not transforming, we can elemental shift. They both kind of do the same thing. I think I just kind of created the flip-flop in a weird way. No, actually, this works, because going into the branch leads us to the whole spiel. So that kind of hopefully saves us the trouble of needing actual, like, timers. Okay. Okay. Now I need to make sure that things are properly, like, delayed. Wink, wink, with really bad winking, because I'm not actually winking. I've got, like, eyelashes that are trying to commit seppuku on my eyeball. Or my eyeball's trying to commit seppuku with eyelashes, whichever one you want to use as a syntax. We have the ground trace there, the animation there, transformation, sprite swap is there. What we didn't want it doing... Right, if it's doing any of those things, or transforming. Get player in control. Transforming. There we go. So now when the player is transforming, the player cannot move. Velocity cannot be added. Oh, wait a minute. I think this is just for the rotation of said character. Shoot. Where are we reading the inputs again? Movement and jump. Right. So if we're not dead, correct, we can do the thing. If we're not attacking... I'm going to say if we're not attacking and we're not transforming. You're more than halfway through One Piece? Welcome, my Nakama. I love it. I love it. And let's see, you said, what did I do? What did I do on Thanksgiving? Oh, I'm glad you asked. I ate 2-day-old leftovers and I worked on projects all day until like 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. I don't really... I really stopped liking Thanksgiving because it feels like a lie. And I don't fuck with lies. It's just my thing. I've got a lot of trust-based trauma because a lot of people have chosen to lie to me in situations, and in turn, I learned to be a good liar when I was younger. Now I can't lie for shit because I don't want to lie. If I, like, am telling a story or something, or some sort of thing of fiction, stuff like that, I can talk like that. But if I ever, like, lie about something, and I know it's a lie, I'm probably saying it in a joking sense, and I will say that I'm joking and I'll apologize for lying at all afterwards. Like, that's how messed up I am about fucking lying. So whenever I look at the stories told on Thanksgiving and stuff like that, and I'm like, I love the concept of being thankful for stuff, but that's not how shit played out. It's not, and it's not okay to keep on pretending that that's how it went down. We didn't hold hands, we held weapons. How did it take for you to respond to the Darklight, or how long did it take to respond to Darklight? Because I think Darklight... I don't have timestamps on these things, so... not quite sure. I wonder if the chatting screen version has timestamps. It does not. It's not. I'd say your usual response time is approximately like 3 to 5 minutes. It's better than some people being 3 to 5 business days. Tell you what. We also want this to be not cool. Not cool, not cool. And we'll make this an and bool here. And just kind of shift this over a little bit. Or better yet, just move that down, move that over. This can plug in here, this plugs in here, and once this plugs in here, it's kind of a little bit smaller and it fits nicely. Alright, that makes sure that we cannot do movement or jumping when we're transforming. And everything else should be kind of on its own already, like, situated. I have to remember which key I assigned that to. What was it? The F key. Okay. I was about to say, that's not a good sign. Oh. Okay, no, this shouldn't still have these breakpoints on. Yeah, you're definitely not gonna be empty there, bud. I know for a fact you should be fine. We have 2 zombies in the level, and we have 2 archers in the level. So there's our current 3-hit combo. There's our special. There's our jump attack. And we see jumping, up, down, starting, all that other stuff. Now let's hit F and see what happens. Nothing Okay, so the transformation didn't happen, but... Hey, yo. That's kind of fire. Yeah, I'll have to tailor the speeds for this mode. Either that, or I need to turn down the speed of the frame rate for the attacks, because they feel very, very, very fast. Yeah, they're too fast at 15. I think they need to be around half that. Now I remember why I set the Kunoichi's attacks to like 8 frames per second instead. So that's one thing. I need to get rid of that first frame of the jump. Uh-oh. I see a damage field that didn't disappear. I repeat, damage field that didn't disappear. And I got myself stuck in attack loops. Should be on the floor. Why aren't I? Damn, that was a weird instance. That hasn't happened in a long time. But I do like that pretty much everything worked. Let's take a look at those animations for the attack. Also for the primal jump start. We'll change that to jump up. Bugs are fun. The jump down is fine. The idle's fine. Right. These should be the ones that we need to mess with. I didn't even check the special attack. We'll mess with that in a second. Yeah, so let's pause this and get rid of this one. Delete. So now if we go back to the start. Yeah. Smooth. Now these, let's set these to 8. And 8. So now I think the best bet is to alter one thing in the player Konoichi. And that is the delay time. Where did I put that delay time? Okay. So flipbook length, we're going to multiply that by... Oh, damn it. I am going to need to do a particular thing. Get player controller. I don't want to do a cast 2 on both lines. I may as well just do it over here and then deal with what I'm doing. Cast a simplified controller. And as the simplified controller, we want to come over here and get flipbook frame time and plug that in there. Hang on a sec. Let me take a look at my frame time thing real quick. Right. Takes frame rate, divide by... Alright. So what we can do here is take frame time and multiply it instead by flipbook length in frames. And then we can take like 2, maybe 3 frame. I'll take 1 frame out of it. Whatever this value is, we subtract 1. I don't think it would let me use a decrement, would it? Ah, it would. And then I plug that in there. Oh no, that would need me to actually do the... It's a pain. I can do it like this without needing a direct, like, input thing. There. How about that? So we take however long the flipbook is, we subtract 1 frame for like the start or the end. Actually, yeah, we could take away 2 frames for the start and end frame. That's how long the delay should be before we set that value, and then the rest of the script takes over in the simplified controller to go ahead and tell it what to do, what animations to pick, etc., etc. Let's give it a shot. Am I working off of the 2D side-scroller template? If so, what nodes did you add or use to get the fighting animations to work? So I did start with the 2D player template, but then I wound up changing so much that I just created my own character afterwards, to be quite honest. And to get the attacks to work, like, that's all here in my controller. I'm using event dispatchers, and basically every time I left click, it's calling the it's calling for several things. One of the events I have is on attack flipbook end, which goes ahead and sets us to not attacking. So that's one of the ways that I manage that. It's also the enumerations that I've been using, so telling my character what attack stage they're in and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into choosing when and how to get the fighting animations to work. That's a whole... That's basically what the first, like, month of class was spent doing. Was getting those starting movements, starting out the attack, and then jumping into the combos. So this right here is attack 1 and 2. The only reason that the finisher is different is because it spawns 2 different damage fields at different angles and stuff. And the heavy special attack is obviously like the whole wave of spikes and everything coming out, so that needed its own branch off, and the air attack needed its own special one too. Because it doesn't just spawn a damage field, we're actively moving while we're attacking. So we attach the damage field to our player's chest. So when they attack, the damage field is moving with the player's body and hurting anything that moves into the damage field. It's all linked up. And this is where I call the attacks right here. So when I enter here, I make sure not to use triggered, I use started, so it only reads the first click. And then it checks if I'm already not attacking and make sure that I'm not dead. And then it checks to see what type of attack I need to do. If I'm in the chain window, then it needs to figure out what part of my chain attack I'm in, and it jumps into the function I made to decide that. If I am not in a chain window, or if one of these two is not the case, such as if I am attacking, or I am dead. Wait a second, what? One of these needs to be on its own. My bad. We're gonna fix that right now. That's probably part of the reason why it freaked out. Get rid of that. Put this one over here. Only if it's true can we proceed onward. And I can move this one over here. Alright, so we can only attack if we're not dead. That's a kind of a good general rule of thumb. And this has the heavy attack set, so we can only use it if we're on the ground, not dead, and not already attacking. That's the whole spiel. We used event dispatchers to also create an interrupt system for the enemies, if I remember correctly. Either that or we just did really semi-functional functions. Functional functions. Get it? He's funny. I think everything else is pretty much fine. Let's give it a shot. We made several changes and updates, so pressed F and it didn't change the animation. Let's go back to the simplified controller and take a look at our animation control. Right. I forgot to put the transforming. We're not dead. And let's just copy this instead of dragging a wire all willy-nilly. Transforming. We have to make sure that that's set to not. Because I'm pretty sure that's what's happening here. Is that because these are running on tick, essentially. So that way it doesn't skip a beat in deciding what it's supposed to be, what it's supposed to look like. I know I didn't put it up here, right? Yeah, I didn't. Okay. I do have the sprite swap there, so that way it knows once it's changed what to do. But I didn't have anything on here to tell it what to do for the actual transformation, which happens over here. So, now, there is that. But as soon as it goes into animation control, it's not going to understand what to do. Because we'll be transforming. Or rather, not that it won't understand what to do, but it will stop itself right there because we're in transformation. So it won't go to, like, rotating our player or anything like that. Good. That's because we changed it down... Where was it? Here? I don't remember where. Was it in the controller, or was it over here? I think it was over here. Yeah, the element shift. Transforming. Yada, yada, yada. Alright. Give it a shot. Show me a transformation. She just fucking died and transformed. That's great. Okay. That was funny. I don't know why that set it to dying. Why did it play that? In what world was that the play here? Death or destruction? Yeah, that would make sense if we were figuring that. That's not what happened here. That was crazy. Let's try that again. Yeah, it's just me flopping over dead. What? That is not the animation I chose. Let's take a look at these. Yeah, that's the transformation. That's a cool ass transformation. That's what I want to be seeing. That's what I'm not currently seeing. All right. So I think in order for me to figure out why I'm not seeing what I want to be seeing, let me look around, make sure that there's nothing over here that is like, if you press F, you die. Yeah, I don't think that was a thing here. Oh, unless, wait a minute. Where's my... is it true that One Piece's English dub is at episode 10? I actually don't know where the English dub is at right now. I watch it in Japanese with subs, but hang on a sec. Alright, as of March 2024, there were 1,061 English dubbed episodes. Nice. They're catching up. Not bad. It's not bad at all. Let me not get too distracted with One Piece. I will always love One Piece. Energy drink's still good. Tasty. Alright, so something in here is a tad fucky. There's transforming back. There's transforming that way. There should be no reason for it to be all funkin'. Ah. Not dead, not transforming. Oh, that's what... So, not dead goes there first. We're gonna get rid of this, and then we're just gonna take this into its own branch. And, yeah, that'll be that. Not dead, true, go over here. Not transforming, true, go over here. See, you're watching it on Netflix and it's a bit behind the Crunchyroll release. That's fine. I mean, the anime's taking a break until like April, so there's gonna be plenty of time for catch up for a lot of people. I know, like me personally, my first time watching One Piece, I started with the English dub, and then I swapped over to the Japanese sub once the Netflix versions were done at that time, because it was when they first put One Piece on there. So I watched up to like the end of the East Blue saga, and then I was so hooked that I was like, yeah, I need more. I can't just like wait for the English one. I know that they've got a lot of episodes, so I'm just gonna go ahead and switch to sub. And I was still doing class and stuff, so I was primarily doing classwork, but I was like basically splitting my eyes and doing classwork with one eye on that screen and reading what was going on and like paying attention to the flashes of color out the corner of my eye. And I'd watch the entire series that way for the most part until the end of that semester, or until I got to caught up, and it took me like 2 months to do because I was watching it every single day. It's just like, yeah, I'm awake, it's One Piece time, and ever since then, every time I wake up, guess what? It's One Piece time, because I watch fucking One Piece reactors, people that are watching One Piece for the first time. And if anyone doesn't understand the appeal of reactors, generally people that like reactors are lonely people. I have no problem admitting that I am a lonely person. I live here alone, I don't go out often because I'm constantly working on shit, so I don't have a lot of interaction with people. I get lonely, so I simulate having friends and simulate showing friends the things that I enjoy and watching their reactions to enjoying the things that I'm enjoying. It's just like hanging out in person, except they don't react to anything I say when I call them stupid for not realizing something. So don't be too harsh on people that like reaction content. Unless, of course, the reaction content is quite literally just them sitting and staring at something without actually reacting. If your reactions are resting bitch face with no kind of like actual emoting, then no reaction. Stolen content. Reposted video. We needed to check and see if things were working again. Let's check it out. Yeah. Oh, that's so dope. Alright, I want to see if I can put a little frame time delay on animations before they continue. One lady watched all of it in 3 weeks. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. If I didn't have class, I would have watched it in 3 weeks. Are you fucking kidding me? I would have tried to beat that record and do it in 2. Like, I love the series. To this day, though, there is one thing I can say. I still have fresh One Piece content that I have not consumed, because I haven't watched most of the One Piece movies. I have left those as a nice little thing for myself, because I watched one of those movies, and it was Film Red, one of the more recent ones, and it had like 3 canonical lore drops and 1 massive spoiler. Like, massive spoiler. So, from that point on, I was like, I loved this film. I'm gonna wait until we're, like, either at the end of the series or, like, the series is ended before I go and look at the other stuff. Because the way my brain works, I'm going to take any tiny piece of information and I'm going to be able to apply it to the main story. And if I don't, like, outright predict an exact event that's going to happen, then I'm going to get really damn close because it's already happened with way too much. And I don't want to keep, like, accurately predicting things in the story. Because then it's not as fun for me to experience it if I've already thought of it happening. That's one of the biggest appeals of this show for me, is that it surprises me so often. To the point where I should almost not be surprised when I'm surprised. Yeah, that works. Alright, so we have this elemental shift that has happened. I want to take a look at our attacks, to be quite honest. Because something that has bothered me is that there isn't actually a delay when the attack is happening. Technically, it shouldn't open up the... it shouldn't let us proceed to the next without the chain attack window happening, so... Let's see. So the chain call happens there. That's what happens when we have a successful chain attack happen. We generally wait 2 frames after certain things. And then go to... I see. I see where my errors were. Okay. Let me take a look at the Kunoichi attack again. I'm gonna try and fix this. I think I can actually succeed at this. Let's take a look at attacks 1 and 2, because attack 3 doesn't really have any issues with it. We'll bring that to the front, and let's stop the loop on this as well, and bring it back to the front. Alright, so this is attack 1, right? We wait 2 frames, and then it generates the attack field, the damage field, which is... Honestly, I need to wait 1 frame for that one. But it's fine. That's cool. So, after we do that, we can... Spawns there. I'm gonna wait 2 frames for that. And then... Another 2 frames feels alright. But I'm going to take a frame away from the previous one. So what I mean by that is over here where it says frame time times 2. Oh, that's part of the combo finisher for that. How's that? So the initial delay will be a single frame, and then it'll be a follow-up delay of the double frame. So let's go ahead and pop that delay right there. We'll pop this delay right here. And I want to get a separate frame time over here. I mean, it's going to be the same frame time, but you know what I mean. Nope. A hole number 2. That's right. Say that. Apply that too with your chest. Okay. I hope that would work. Let's see if it does. Gonna do a Control-Shift-S to save all. Gonna let the camera refresh. There it goes. Woo! Woo! Alright, I'll make those a little faster. Nice. I do need to, like, extend the range on these damage fields. They're gonna need to be far bigger. Like, I need to move them out a little bit more and make them larger. But I love the way this thing looks. I love the way you look. Oh yeah, also the enhanced damage that I get to deal. Nice! It still works against the enemies too! That's so good. I could make a little glowing effect that can follow it around. And by that I mean I probably have a glowing effect somewhere that I can just apply to it. So those 2 zombies are dead, which opens up the next section, which is the archers. That, technically, that text should clean itself up and disappear, but it's not, so I'll have to make sure that I find a way to fix that. Those guys are going to be one-shotted if we're in this form, because they only have 3 health to begin with. So let's transform back. Cool. We can see that we're back to normal, although I do notice we're having some issues with our regular basic attack here. Yeah, something's up here. We got stuck. Stooped. Alright. So how do we fix this? Attack part 1 and stuff starting, that's all fine. So either we go on to call on attack type change, which happens somewhere right up here. Attack type change, yeah, that goes to... This is the decider for that. And it's odd, it doesn't want to, like, pay attention to the... Wait a minute, I think I may have sped up the Kunoichi's attacks, honestly. Let me take a look at all of them. Yeah, their frame rate was increased. Let's set it to 10. 10 looks like it was the agreed one there. Let's set this to 12. Set this one to 12 as well. 15 is fine for this still, honestly. All the other ones, Control-Shift-S. Let me also go back to the primal, because those first 3 attacks were a little too slow at 8. So let's go ahead and set these to 10. 10. And 12. Also want to take a look at that special attack. Not 47, no! It's crazy. Okay. Let's see if that allows a little bit of synergy here. Sus. I know people are going to want to spam. That's a given. Let me go back up here and see when... Okay, so chain window is set at that point. Does this really need to only be one frame? Let's find out. We'll leave this kind of down here, just chilling and floating. But I do know that we did need that delay there. I see. So it is still timing based, because if you're not in the chain attack window for the follow-up attack, like some people are going to be like, it doesn't feel good because it's not like a non-stop chain that they can do infinitely without timing it right. You can miss it by like a frame, and that would mess up the combo, but that's fine because you have other options. That's right. Oh, that's a very satisfying feel. I like that. We'll have to give this thing like an energy meter that'll slowly fill over time, or that needs to be filled by dealing damage, or that'll make it fill faster. And this should only be unlocked and available after a certain point, for sure. Because players should not have this much power. Uh-oh, I just saw that. Yeah, see, we can still move while we're transforming. That's not what we want. So let's take a look here. Where is movement? Should be a different color. Movement and jump. Ah, I see. I misunderstood what I was applying here. So we'll just say if not attacking. If that's not attacking, then stop movement. Oh yeah, okay, so I can actually just technically get rid of the not. That should help. Nope. It breaks it. It breaks it. Just full of breaks. There we go. Okay, so now we need to make sure that when we're transforming, it also does not let us proceed further. if transforming, or false. Continue down that path. Or transforming or grounded. No. I need to make this completely separate. Before I check out grounded. Actually, I think before checking out the not attacking bit, I want to one more branch in here. Check if transforming. If true, we're just going to jump straight over to this stop movement immediately thing. And if false, we go on to the rest. Cool. Alright. Now let me transform. Yes, cool. I can't move while transforming. That's exactly what I wanted. Can't move while attacking. Also what I wanted. Unless we're, like, in the air. He dies. Dies with this attack. I really love this attack. I feel very happy with that. The fact that all that's kind of working together right now is good. I need to get a sound for the transformation, but I know that I have those available. Like, I've got so many goddamn sounds. I can worry about that later. So this is cool. I'll make a little note here. I'll make it a purple comment that says elemental shift here needs sound on activation. Not activation. There we go. Get that near Afton purple. Okay. Just kind of shift this over a little bit, because the elemental shift is technically this function. Event, not function. Whoops. There we go. I didn't really look at the taking a hit. Might need to explore that one, make sure that it's good. If it's not, I might have to like make some interim sprites, like midway through the hit animation turn red. Oh. Stop hitting me! Stop hitting me! Consent, important. Alright. I think there's, we have 18 minutes left. I'm trying to think of what I can do in 18 minutes, but my stomach is getting upset at me. I might have to do another, early dip out for my health's sake. Because, like I said, today was a very busy day, for, like, home maintenance. I've kind of been letting everything fall apart around me while I've been focusing all my time on these projects. So, I'm very happy with myself for getting a lot of the home maintenance stuff done, but it's also, like, it's been a lot of home maintenance. So, it's, I didn't get to eat or anything. I've been up for a while. I didn't really sleep too much last night. Well, let me rephrase. I slept. I didn't sleep well. I actually woke up in the middle of the night, not because I had to pee, which I did, but that's not the reason I woke up. I woke up because I had, in my head, I was doing an animation graph, like an animation state machine for Brig Breakout. I woke up with ideas for an animation state machine. If my creativity keeps robbing me of sleep, I'm gonna have words for it. I love it, I do. But, like, until I don't have deadlines anymore, it needs to chill and ease up. All these ideas are flooding me constantly. Like, I'm filling up. Like this leather book right here, you can see that it's got different like sections of leaf in there. It's got like one, two, three, four, like 5 little booklets of sheets of paper. So like almost one whole thing of those is already full of ideas for either individual game features or full-blown like game ideas, concepts, storyline, any little thing that I can think of. I've been writing it down right in here. Just pages and pages and pages and pages of lore or functions or anything. A lot of it. And then there's the little notepad I've got right next to me for, you know, ideas that are happening that are a little too quick or too small for me to merit digging the book out. I'll write them down in the little notepad, or if it's for a project that I'm actively working on, like for class, it goes in the notepad, because that's much closer to reach and I don't need to unwind a bunch of leather straps for it. It's not a bunch of leather straps, it's one leather string that goes around it, but I love it. This was a wedding gift. Lasted longer than the marriage. Moving on! Right, I was just saying how I might need to, like, dip out for food. And to just kind of take care of myself now that I've taken care of everything else. Oh, there we go. Alright. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Cutting out 15 minutes early so that way I can take care of myself. Like, continue to take care of myself. Because, like I said yesterday, where other people were having Thanksgiving and family time and other stuff, if that's what they celebrate. If you don't know, Thanksgiving, amongst many Native Americans, is a day of national mourning because of what actually happened, instead of the glorified version that's told in America for Thanksgiving. And again, today is not only Black Friday, the biggest capitalistic, consuming, money-hungry holiday that exists in the country, but it's also National Native American Heritage Day that no one even really knows about because it's on Black Friday, and that's pretty much by design. So, just reminding everyone of that. Enjoy these holidays, I guess. I'd still try and find something to be thankful for on Thanksgiving, but it's not for the things that Thanksgiving, you know, generally entails. Because Thanksgiving, they like to say it's about, you know, the unity and pilgrims getting along with the Indians and traded beads and all that stuff, and, you know, omitting all of the rampant rape, disease, murder, pillaging, theft, the Trail of Tears, everything else. Like, no. I will never let those things fade away into obscurity, and I will not let those things be erased from history. It's just not an option. Honest question, did anything good happen during the time when us Americans came here? Depends on perspective. I'm even gonna pause the music and go to the chatting scene real quick before we go to the ending scene, so that way I can answer this one. Because it was One Piece that had the best explanation for this. And if you're gonna watch it, great. I'm not gonna spoil who says it or why. But if you've made it past, I'd say 500 to 600 episodes, then you've probably heard this already, whether you remember it or not. But a certain character explained what justice is. And justice, just like, you know, it can be defined as something good, right? So, if anything good happened, did justice happen during the time that us Americans came here? Well, that depends on where you stand. Because on the side of Americans, it would probably seem like some form of justice that they now have some place to live and do the things that they want to do and all that stuff. But then on the other side is the people that lose their lives and their livelihood, the way they live and the places that they lived. And they do not view it as good. Because, and to put it back to the analogy from One Piece, it's there are children who have never known war, and there are children who have never known peace. Justice is decided by the victor. Whoever wins decides what justice is. And that's generally why I don't give a damn when laws are passed that tend to dehumanize humans, you know? Because I don't view that as something that's, like, allowable. See, on what list would it be on? Because how would they get your name on that website? Wait, which website? What? I don't know what you're referring to, Omar, but yeah. Oh, BitChute? I've never heard of BitChute. I didn't know that that was being talked about. Wish there was a middle ground on at that time to where people understood each side. But yeah, well, that would have taken, you know, the time and effort of the pilgrims, like a lot of time to learn the ways of the Native Americans, to learn their faith, learn what the land and what the country, what everything meant to them, and understood it rather than just saying, oh, they're whack jobs, that it's just land and we need it more than they do. So, you know, communication is a big thing, but really it's part of that thing. One of those human traits that people like to forget about is that we are capable of great violence. And those that want something and are willing to skew morality for it, they don't have a problem with it. And the people that do have a problem with it aren't the ones that have to live with themselves after doing such an act. So the person that does do that act will continue to do that act. All right. Yeah, everyone's saying the goodbyes. It's a very good time for me to go ahead and say thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to give special thanks to those that participated in the chat, including but not limited to Abman, Omar, and Darklight. The three of y'all are the best, really. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. I even said it in the Discord when I was mentioning, like, no one that watches this channel will be mad if I'm a little late, because there's like 3 to 5 of y'all. And look, there's 3 of y'all here. It's so good. I wish we could time travel to help the people in the past, to at least try to help them. God, yeah, but then, you know, we might create a situation where we ourselves are never created, and then we can't go back in time to fix the problem that would wind up being created by us not existing. It becomes a time loop. That's why in a lot of lore and stuff that happens around time manipulation, they like to say, don't fuck with time. Don't go back and change the past, unless multiverse theory is true. Because then you just create a different offshoot and everything's all good. Brand new universe of possibilities because you made one different choice. But generally, if you don't aspire to that multiverse theory, then yeah, no, messing with time is not a good thing. And on that note, see you later, everybody. Catch y'all on Sunday. Stay frosty.